Hello, this is PC Invasion playing a little bit of Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles. That is a name you could definitely slip up on if you aren't as meticulously well prepared as me. That's gonna come back and bite me as soon as I mess up saying something later on. But anyway, this game's out on the 18th of July. It's by a company called Prideful Sloth, one of whom I think is from Rocksteady. This game's not very much like the Batman Arkham games, other than I suppose it's kind of open world, but you don't go around like kicking people and swooping down on them and being a big bat. Instead you go around like collecting sprites and feeding foxes and crafting things. Here's me collecting a sprite at this very minute in this footage. I used materials to mend this shrine and got a sprite in it. Why am I collecting sprites? Well, because parts of this open world are covered with a thing called murk, which is a sort of purpley bluey mist. It's just kind of unpleasant and makes places uninhabitable, but sprites apparently have the magical ability to get rid of that. So if you collect enough, each bit of murk requires that you have a certain number of sprites. Cumulatively, you don't spend them getting rid of the murk. It's like this patch needs you to have 6, this patch needs you to have collected 10, etc. So the more you find, the more bits of murk that you can... Well, that fox just ran into the river there. That's unfortunate. Rip, little fox. Yeah, anyway, ordinarily when you give animals food and stuff, they'll follow you around, and you can take them back to a farm if you've got enough pens set up to look after the animals at your farm. We'll see the farm a little bit later on, but for now we're just looking around in the world, looking for a quest maybe. My main quest that I've got up at the moment is to seek the Master Tailor, which will basically teach me some new crafting skills. There's a whole bunch of different professions in this game. I've currently got the sort of building profession, which gave me a bunch of building recipes, but there's also, tailor is one, and brewer, I think, as well. This is another profession you can get later on. This guy wants me to do some fishing, because, I mean, this type of game is always going to have fishing in it, isn't it? You'll notice it's getting a bit darker because there's also a day-night cycle in place in this game, so my little chap in his top hat will be whipping his torch out pretty soon. If you can see, there's a little patch on the back of his backpack. That's kind of the symbol that I have learned carpentry, so I can build. So yeah, the animal pens and stuff that I was mentioning earlier. That's carpentry. Lets you build some of those. And right, yeah, we're gonna get rid of some of this murk. I need 6 sprites. As it happens, I now have 6 because I fixed that shrine. And now, thanks to the removal of that, I can smash up some boxes in here, and I can also open this chest and get some kind of amazing reward. Black shampoo in this case, which means if I want to change my silvery white hair to black, then that's now something I can do. And also, here's a cat that I can rescue. Don't really know what the cats do at this point. They may just be collectibles. That might be their whole deal. They're quite cute, like most of the things in this game. But yeah, you don't... unlike the animal types that kind of roam around the plains and the grasslands, as this area is called, you can't get the cats back to your farm. You don't build pens for them and stuff. Here is the farm. I've got 2 animals in here at the moment. Not sure if... Here we go, there's one. Here's a fox. One that didn't go swimming in the river, fortunately. There we go. Giving him some strokes. Not lovely. And this guy is outside of his pen. This, I believe, is called a groffle. And he also clearly needs some attention. There is a point to this, other than it being adorable. No, I don't want to take him on a journey with me, thanks. They will produce goods for you. The Groffle produces Groffle milk, and the Fox produces clay, I think? Yeah, not quite sure why it does that. The Groffle milk, I understand. Not so sure about the clay thing, but I guess it just loves digging up clay. Maybe that's why they go in the river so often, to get clay from the riverbeds. So here's the UI for building some stuff on the farm. You kind of just walk around literally on the squares, and then you can choose to place. I have a fodder trough and a water tray, water trough thing. I could, if I wanted, put another one of those down. I've chosen not to, but that gives you an idea of the UI there. I think probably what we're going to do now, try a bit of fishing. And here's various menus. There you can see the different crafting professions up along the top here. There's carpenter. I don't really have the materials to build any of these other pens, but were I to do more crafting and collecting of materials, then I could do that. I mean, that works in the way popularized by Minecraft, of course. Chop down a tree to make some wood. There are businesses around the place who will convert the wood into planks for you. They use the planks in conjunction with like some nails and carpentry kits to create some more buildings and constructions. There are areas on the map where you can build bridges. In some parts, they can be stone bridges or wood bridges, and they help you get around about the map, and are another good use of your crafting stuff. So this is the area where apparently we're gonna get this knacklefish. So we'll give it a go. First time doing fishing, so it's telling me what the deal is with that. Get a bite and then try and reel it in. Success. Caught an almost 7cm fish. What a triumph. It's like what? 2 inches, 3 inches, something like that. Not the most impressive fish catch of the day. Let's try a different spot. Yep, someone else has appeared. Gotta get it. Success! A 15 almost centimetre fish. Still not the one we need, though. Which is a bit unhelpful. So you might have noticed that there aren't really any kind of threats in this game. There's no. I think it's described as a pacifist title. You know, you don't really fight anything. You know, the murk is there, and it's kind of unpleasant, but it's not actively fighting you. So yeah, everything you do is kind of there's a main quest, obviously, to ultimately free the island of Murk, but we've skipped ahead here a bit because I did a bit more fishing and didn't find the knacklefish, so wandered off to a new area instead. Anyway, yeah, besides the main quest, you kind of left to your own devices just to go and you can build up your farm, you can craft some stuff, do some trading, wander around, explore the world, find new animals, collect cats, apparently. do little side quests like this one to find the missing crew of the ship. Because the way you arrive on this island as your ship is, you were traveling here. You were guided by your magic compass that also helps you, points you to new quests and stuff. But anyway, there was a shipwreck, and so that's why you're looking for some of the sailors who've wandered off somewhere. They're all fine. They've just wandered off. Got to make a name for themselves on the island, like we're doing. I'm trying to become a pro fisherman, apparently. But I think I possibly gave up on that and decided instead to go back to seeking this tailor. This is part of the main quest. There's a device on one of the other areas which I'm not allowed to show at the moment because this is still kind of a week ahead of release. I'm limited to the 2 environmental zones that we'll be looking at. This is the grasslands. The other one's called the Hearthwind Vale or something like that. It'll probably say it when we go in there. In another realm of the open world, there is a machine called the Cloud Catcher, hence the name of this game. And the Cloud Catcher is a bit broken, so this part of the quest is, I think, we're going to the tailor so that he can make some sails, some big textured sheets of material to help mend the Cloud Catcher. We'll see when we go and have a word with him. And here's the map. You see, you've probably been getting an idea of how the size of the world from when I've been dipping in and out of the map. It's not massive. There's sort of I don't know precisely how many biome environments there are, like 7 or 8, something like that. That is a weird creature called a Fabbit that you just saw there. So not a massive world. I mean, there's a little bit of fast travel. There are a couple of points where you can kind of teleport between points on the island, but that's it. And you kind of don't necessarily need fast travel because you can run across quite large places, quite large areas of the islands pretty swiftly. It does get a little bit annoying if you're given a quest at one end and it's like all of a sudden, can you just go right to the other end of the island? But as I say, there are a couple of little kind of magical portals that you can use to hop between the furthest extremes, so that works quite well. Let's see what the tailor's got to say for himself. This is how everyone talks, by the way. They all got kind of abstract voice acting, let's say. Right, so before he makes any sails for us, we need to go to the moth sanctuary, because the moths have silk, and the silk is necessary for the sails. So that's all the way over there. We're pretty much, this is the middle of the map, to give you an idea. It goes a bit further north, but otherwise that's pretty much the size of it. But that's fine, it's pretty tight, it's pretty contained. Here's a blue dog, looking a little bit too big for his house, but... Alright, so that's a bit of a trading tip from that person. Here is a trader offering, as you'd expect from the tailor-themed town, some clothing items. So trading in this, you don't really have a kind of set, you don't hold a monetary currency. See, look, as I said at the start, I got all proud of myself for being able to say the name of this game. Now I can no longer talk properly. Anyway, the trading is all on the bartering system, so like that, those pair of sunglasses are worth 29, and therefore if I give this person the equivalent worth 29, that fish is worth 26, and then I give him like 3 fodder bundles. That'll be a 29 for 29 trade. The trade thing comes up, I can do it. So it's a full-on bartering system rather than there being the island does not have fiat currency. It's all about the exchange of goods. Yeah, and that's a giant ball of yarn. So that's novel. That lady just gives bad animal puns all day long, which is that's a good occupation to have, I suppose. Right, so this guy I think will give us leather in exchange for animal hides. Yeah. So to gather materials for crafting, you have different tools. I'm carrying the kind of sickle thing at the moment. But you also have a hammer, you have an axe, you have a pickaxe, all of which have their relevant materials. So the axe, is for chopping down trees, pickaxe is for mining minerals from veins of rock, which we might see a bit of, I'm not sure. I can't remember if I recorded any of that. I'm not sure if I have the pickaxe at this point. There we go. We're doing some fodder harvesting there. What else was I gonna say? Right, yeah, that popped up the little hammer icon there. That was the rock, which can be smashed with the hammer for creating bits of stone. This guy wants 5 fish for some reason. Right, yeah, 5 fish in exchange for an Old Kingdom coin. I'm not sure what the Old Kingdom coins do yet. I've got a few of those, but I'm sure they'll prove useful at some point. Anyway, you can probably tell this environmental zone is a little bit different from the grasslands. It's got it's more like kind of enclosed valleys, different trees, different kind of atmosphere and weather sounds and effects. I think that's going to be especially clear in a little moment when we get to a kind of a bog over here. Sort of this kind of gross, humid type area that I would not really like to be in real life. Because it looks like it smells, and the water is stagnant at best, and it basically looks like a bad place to be. Look at it. Ugh. It's appalling. Less time spent hanging around there, the better, I think. So there's some murk just up ahead, which if we have enough sprites, we'll be able to clear, but I'm not sure that we do. We'll see. Oh, yeah, we do. No need 4 for that. Behold! So now there's another chest that we can get. I think that's more shampoo. Yeah, pink shampoo. So if I feel a sudden desire to get pink hair, that'll be the place for it. So the moth sanctuary is around here somewhere. It's very close on the mini-map. It's either going to be this way or round to the side. This looks like it's just going to a beach. But that is an excuse for more fishing. So I don't want to get too close to the wall. You do drown. You can drown in water, but that's one of the few ways you can actually die in this game. But when you die, it basically instantly resurrects you to very close by, so like to the shore in this case. So that's not... As I say, it's a very chill game. It's not... There's no threat. There's no like time pressure. It's just it's up to you. What kind of stuff you want to do. That's a pretty impressive fish, if I do say so myself. Anyway, that wasn't the way to the moth sanctuary, so... Man, those Fabbit things, I don't know. Like, they're kind of cute, but they're a bit weird as well. Not sure I trust them entirely. Not sure I trust them. Right, so to reach the sanctuary, it looks like we need to go through here. And we need another sprite. So, that means searching for another one. Now, sometimes they're just kind of hanging around in the environment. Sometimes you have to solve little puzzles. Sometimes you have to renovate shrines, as I did at the very start of this video. So, the quest now is basically to... Immediate quest is to find another sprite. Not sure really what I was doing on the map for that long. Probably trying to think about where I might find one of these things. Which, to be honest, it could be anywhere really. You don't know when you're going to come across a little puzzle or some such. The umbrella automatically opens when you are falling from a decent sized height. It's possible there's a sprite in here, but not terribly likely. I think I'm just smashing things to relieve frustration, frankly. Playing this on the PC, incidentally, as you would imagine. It's available on other platforms. There are a few. The PC version has a few options. Keyboard support is in, mouse and keyboard support. It's just pretty good. I'm playing on a gamepad for the purposes of this, but the keyboard controls were alright. There's a few graphics options as well. A bit of scalability. Believe the frame rate tops out at 60, but that is perfectly adequate for a game like this. So it's made in Unity, but seems to run alright nonetheless. I know some Unity games have had a bit of a rough time sometimes, but this one runs just fine. Yeah, Fabbits have names for each other. Wait, what does that mean? Right, so that blue sparkle in the background, that means there's a sprite lurking about here. Farty Fen Bog. Hooray! With the power of the many, many flowers I've collected, I have transformed that structure and rescued a sprite. Well, rescued. He seemed a bit pissed off at me, actually, but whatever. He's willing to travel with me, and that's what matters. Because now, we have 7 sprites. More fishing? Yeah, more fishing. So yeah, you know, this game, it borrows quite a few bits from other peaceful construction type games. You know, there's a little bit of Minecraft in there, there's a little tiny bit of Stardew, there's a little bit of like every game that has fishing in it. Nice open world environments. It's yeah, it's pretty cute, pretty chill. There we go, look at that. Isn't that lovely now? Not garish at all, what I've done to that monument. So there's some rock to vein up there, or rock to mine, a rock vein to mine. But yeah, I guess didn't have the pickaxe at this stage because I wasn't interested in that. Instead, it's onwards to the moth sanctuary, and when we get there, basically the guy is going to say, "Too bad, the moths aren't around right now. You're gonna have to collect some more stuff from elsewhere to encourage the moths to come back." And the main quest will continue. So we'll leave it at that point, pretty much. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you like what you see of Yonder Cloudcatcher Chronicles. As mentioned, it is out on the 18th of July.